lesson addresses the topic of user-centered design and its culture from its fundamentals to its application, with a focus on how it can support and nourish policymaking. User-centered design establishes its roots in the shift from the rational approach of problem-solving to that of argumentative participatory processes in which designers work in partnership with the stakeholders involved in a specific problem. This shift contributed to the evolution of participatory design first and user-centered design and design thinking more recently. They all have in common the fact that the people affected by an issue, the end users, are placed at the center of the solution development. Fundamental for this development was the notion of wicked problems. Wicked problems are in fact highly ambiguous problems that do not have a clear yes or no answer, but only better or worse solutions that need to be carefully developed while taking a variety of influencing factors into account. The concept of design itself has evolved over the years, becoming a way of envisioning possibilities and not just a process looking to find specific solutions. Then, from the 2000s, the notion of design thinking spread from the narrow field of academic debate to a much wider audience, entering first the field of business and later on the public sector. In essence, human-centered design is an approach that develops solutions by involving people as end users and stakeholders throughout the innovation development process, so that solutions are tailored based on their individual and specific needs. In this approach, it is key to gaining a clear and deep understanding of who will use a product, service, or system, in which context, for what reasons, and with what effects impacts. The aim of human-centered design in the field of public sector is to foster the development of innovative ideas, ensuring policies and services that respond to citizens' real needs, achieving economic sustainability and efficiency in a condition of mutual cooperation for change. Independently of its field of application, human-centered design relies on several core principles. Problem framing is a key to design solutions. Framing the real problem, considering the user's needs and expectations, together with all the influencing factors, is fundamental to create the basis for proper design. Users should be involved in the design process since its very beginning. Understanding users and the context where the interaction takes place feeds critical design decisions with first-hand information and knowledge. Feedback loops. Regular users' feedback collection and analysis allows focused and evidence-based design decisions to be made. An iterative process. Any solution has to be tested and evaluated, gathering feedback for implementation. The aim is to improve users' experience. Referring to Guy Julia's point of view on design culture, these principles gain a further level of complexity when we add the context where the process of user-centered design takes place. Valuing the role of the context throughout the entire design process, Julia identifies three main lines of thought that see design culture as a process informed by the context where it takes place, as agency that counts on design's potential to change the way in which big societal challenges might be addressed, as an organizational or attitudinal asset of a specific organization, or a specific type of organization, in which it produces distinction and differentiation. Building on this view means designing considering the expectations of users and fields of destination of the design solution, as well as the knowledge and capacities of the organizations and entities that are involved in conceiving, implementing, and delivering them. In other words, the design context is formed by the convergence of three elements: the challenge or problem to be tackled, the agents involved, meaning the actors, users, and stakeholders associated to the challenge, and their needs and dynamics, both inside and between agents. The environment, meaning the physical, digital, or hybrid space where design takes place, and all influencing factors like policies, organizational relations, and local culture. Keeping all of these aspects in mind, the public sector emerges as a domain that can benefit greatly from applying a human-centered design approach. Co-design provides policymakers with tools for a better understanding of citizens' needs and the engagement of citizens in the development of solutions, better responding to their particular problems. Over the years, there has been a plethora of claims about what co-design can do and why and how it should be used. And this has especially been the case in the public sector. Co-design for building new public solutions and/or policies is often carried out in policy labs working with different government levels, from cities to regions and beyond. Examples for such labs are the Cabinet's Office Policy Lab in the UK, the Danish Design Centre in Denmark, or the JRC Policy Lab at the European Commission. Policy development has to take into account and satisfy multiple user groups at the same time, seeking a balance between them. At the same time, the field of operation of policymaking has very restricted room for interventions due to given norms and legislations. Co-design for policy means bringing people with real experience on the issue at stake into the policy design process as active participants while collaborating with a variety of other actors and stakeholders to ensure the implementability of the solutions resulting from this process. The engagement should begin as early as possible, following principles of transparency in order to gain mutual trust.